Good morning. Thanks for watching and welcome to video every day in April, day 4. So this is just going to be kind of a quick catch up. I'm exhausted to be honest. It's been a busy, fully scheduled week so far, and I kind of knew that the first half of the month was going to be pretty heavily scheduled. So here's hoping they're not going to slow down. Like, who am I kidding? There's no way. But the goal is to just kind of keep rolling smoothly. So as a recap for what I did yesterday, it was a busy day. So I had my therapy. I call it personal training, like coaching officially, because that's exactly what it is. It's personal training to help me be better at coping with life. And it's hugely effective. However, the only time my therapist and I can work together is at 7:45 in the morning on a weekday. So it's a little bit challenging because I go in, and depending on what we talk about, or because I kind of walk in, take a moment, and then whatever comes out, comes out. Because I plan it out sometimes in my head, but it almost never. We end up almost never talking about what I think I'm going to talk about. However, that doesn't really matter because it's always what needs to happen, what needs to be talked about is talked about. Discussed. So I go in and I do that at 7:45, and sometimes I'll leave, like, I'll bawl my eyes out and I'll, like, go into the rest of my day, my work day, my office day, what have you, after that, and I'll, like, take a moment in her office and kind of, like, try to freshen up, but I always kind of feel like I'm blah. So everyone at the office thinks I'm going to the gym in the morning, and I'm like, I work out and I cry, and that's how it is, which is fine. That's how it is. I can say I started this about, I'm gonna say 8 weeks ago, maybe mid-February, and it's like night and day. So 150% worth it to work with her. So that was my beginning of my morning. Then I had my work day. Then I had a work event. And then it's kind of embarrassing. Then I had to go to traffic court. Because your girl, listen to this story. So I, on a Sunday night, was trying to race to get my errands done. I was actually headed to the Dollar Tree at like 8:50 on a Sunday night, trying to get there before it closed, and I got pulled over, and I got a ticket. And sometimes you can avoid it, and sometimes you can't. And this time, I guess I couldn't, and I got a ticket in February. So that was not exciting. I had to go, I asked for it to be adjourned in March, and then I went this month, and it was not fun. It was not fun at all, because I got no points on my license, so that's the good news. The not so good news is that $439 later is how we arrived at that verdict. And I was like, I could have fought it, because I personally don't feel like I was speeding. I was like, I have a 2004 Toyota. Like, it's not the fastest car in the shed. Like, it doesn't go that fast. But the prosecutor offered me a plea deal, and I kind of knew how it was going to run. I was like, you know what? Just take it. I was operating the vehicle in an unsafe manner, so I fully deserved what I got. So I figured, you know what? I'm paying this much to get this out of my life and not have to think about it, which is exactly what happened. So I did that. Then I went to teach my lesson in the afternoon, and then I met up with some girlfriends for dinner, or for yeah, it was dinner. We went to Shake Shack in the mall, and that was a pretty frugal dinner. Like, we're all very frugal, and these are girlfriends that I've known since 2011, so about 8 years. And it was, I love them. They are amazing, and I really feel fortunate to have friends that I've known for that long. We've been together through a lot. They are both married and working on expecting babies. One is pretty pregnant, and her baby shower's in May, and the other one is having some stuff, is on the journey to become pregnant. I'm like, oh, it's really cool, and I'm really supportive of them, and it's neat to be present for their journeys. Yeah, so that's where that is. And it was just kind of like we catch up because we share similar outlooks on life, so that's fun. Then I came back home, and that was the end. I ended my day, as I try to have like a strong routine. I end my day with reflection. I watched a soap opera that we watched. It's called EastEnders. Does anyone else? We love it here in the States. I've been watching it with my mom for the past 10 years. She's been watching it for almost 30 years. Because when we lived in Bethesda, Maryland, our neighbors across the street were from the UK, and they got us into that. So it's been on public television for the past 30 years, and we've watched it every week. I know it's like people, people from the UK are like, oh, EastEnders, because it's like a soap opera, but I love it, and I feel like it is like streaks ahead of like our best work here in the US. It's just, I mean, like the acting for being like a soap is phenomenal. I think it's great. I think it's really good. So we're at the part where Stacy just married Bradley, and she's been having an affair with Bradley's dad secretly, and then so they're married, and she almost doesn't go through with it, but then she comes back to her house to change and like get her stuff, and then Bradley's dad follows her up the stairs, and they share an illicit last kiss, and it turns out that there was a video camera in the room recording everything, because one of the guy's daughters was taking video, and she left her camera in Stacy's room, and it was like, oh, this big scandal. So that's where we are. And I spent 40 minutes watching that last night. It was just a good way to kind of like let the day go. So that was my yesterday. And then I ended the day by writing in my journal that I write in every time I have therapy. And then trying to sort of keep a few notes on reflection. So I have that journal, and then I also have like a Word doc on my computer that I try to write in as well, so I can search things like, oh, when was the last time I met with my two friends? And I'll look up like my two friends' names, and I'll see like, oh, that was the last time. In addition to my paper planner, I've got a system. It works. So that was my day. We're not all the way through the week yet. So that's what I've been up to. Today is another busy one. I'm heading out to work now. And I have an orchestra rehearsal tonight. So that's exciting. So a little bit, just that one thing after work. Supposed to like 3 things. So that's where it is. That's where I'm up to, what I'm up to on this 4th day of April. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll keep watching. Bye.